Find out what Callum Kerr thinks about being seen as the most attractive man in the Wheel of Time. Welcome to Dragonmount. I'm Kathy Campbell. Now, before we get started, of course, let me send a huge thank you out to Tor Books for sponsoring Dragonmount. We have an incredible array of books available in our DRM free ebook shop, so make sure to visit the website to check those out. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. We have some massive changes coming to our Patreon at the end of this month, March 31st. So make sure to stay tuned to check those out. Now let's get started with the interview that you're here for.
Hi, I'm Kathy with Dragonmount, which is the oldest Wheel of Time community that started in 1998. We're so excited to talk to you today.
First of all, 98 is crazy. That is some dedication right there. That is so cool. Did you start it?
No, I did not. I've just been a fan of the book since about 2000 and became really good friends with the founder, and I took it over when he finally was going to retire because he'd been working on it since 1998. It was time for him to take it.
We are not retiring Dragonmount. You can go and be at rest and retire and have a fun life. But this goes nowhere.
Exactly. Especially because we get to talk to you. So it's fantastic.
Yeah. This is what the whole thing is all about, right?
Exactly.
This is the summit. No, I'm kidding.
No, this is, you know what? It's right up there. So how acquainted were you with Galad when you first got the role and then when you started filming?
So there was about 3 weeks between getting the role and filming. I didn't know who I was reading for. It was quite hard to tell because they were using code names for the audition process. And so it was only the very last, we did, I think it was a self-tape audition and then over the kind of like what we were doing audition. And then we did a chemistry read where it was me, Luke, and Kira all in the one room. And we did a couple of scenes, and it was only then that they obviously had to tell us because we knew who Kira played,
right?
That we were going to be her brothers, that there was, so it was only then we knew. And it was like that day, you got the job, congratulations, when can you fly out? And I was like, oh, right, we're going for it. But it was good. We had some time between flying out and the first filming date because we had to train stunts for the 2 fights that you saw in episodes 2 and 3. Yeah. And so it was quite nice to get the time to kind of learn as much as possible. And I was just saying before in a couple of the other interviews that I have had so many friends that I had no idea that some of my friends read these books. So I had admittedly not heard of the Wheel of Time series. And then as soon as I booked this role, like so many friends were like, "Oh my God, we read all these books." And I was like, "Why did no one tell me that this existed?" Apparently you guys are all having a great time reading these books and no one's recommended them. All right, slightly annoyed about that. Obviously they were all delighted that they said that they then knew someone that was going to be on it. And then when I was like, "Oh, I'm going to play Galad," they were like, what the flip? Excuse my French. They were just like, no way, and I didn't know again much about it. I was just trying to read as many online forums as possible because there's no way I was going to get through the book.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
And so more I talked to people, they were like, "Oh yeah, he's a pretty prominent character in the books," and I was like, "Oh right, cool." I didn't know how big this part was going to be, and fingers crossed, there's more seasons, and we get to keep going. So that was it. I just had to do a crash course in him, his background, his family, and I think by the time we started filming, I had a pretty strong idea about who he was and what I could.
How does it feel to be a character that's seen as so attractive and yet so very annoying to these readers?
The attractive thing is that something I'm never going to get over. I just kind of like let that be. Yeah, I'm like, I sit down in the hair and makeup chair and I'm like, you guys have got to do some magic here, because I'm like, I'm super pale, super like, I'm usually got like a beard, and I'm like, I don't know what you have to do, but you got to do something here. If I'm going to play this character, make it work. But this spray tan and they sorted my hair, and I was like, all right, okay. I still don't like looking at myself on screen, but hopefully you guys have done enough here. But it definitely, it put the flame behind me to I keep pretty active already, but it definitely made me want to be in the gym like every single day. And then everything else, kind of looks wise is for that's for other people's perceptions of Galad, and I think everything else, it was internal for me. I think even though other people think Galad is attractive, I don't think he really bases himself on that. He obviously clearly, as we saw, he has fun with it with some of the other people that he comes across. But I think deep down he's very internal, and I think he has an internal voice, which is that he thinks much his way is the right way, and he must act accordingly. And so that's kind of what I tried to remember the entire time I was playing him. And I think the annoying bit is really, really nice because it brings a little bit of fun to something that could be just a really serious character all the time. I think the writers did such a good job, like, Kira kind of rolling his eyes after he says things, and the little glances over to Luke to Gowan. I thought it was just really, really fun. And I've got a younger sister, and she I'm sure she would watch it. I think she might have watched. She either watched it or she fell asleep by the time I got on the screen. We were watching it together, and she fell asleep.
That's a true sister right there.
Seriously, yeah. Well, she knows. She's like, I don't want to see you shirtless, and I'm like, there's some scenes that I'm not, so we can watch up to there. And she I'm sure she would agree with Kira's character. I'm sure she'd be like, oh my God.
So along those same lines, I know a lot of book readers were concerned that Galad took some novices back to his room. I always argue that maybe it was Aes Sedai or even accepted somewhere along those lines. Who do you think Galad took back to have a little bit of fun with?
Gosh, I mean, so it was quite fun because we weren't actually in the room next door. We recorded the vocals for that. So basically, just come to a studio and do some sex noises. And we filmed that, recorded that like a year after we filmed it. So I wasn't sure if they were just going to use like, someone else's voice, or if it was going to be like a special effects, or I don't know, if you can just download like sex noise packs and just put it in there. But, true to the show, they were like, Callum, look, we want you to do your own sex noises. And so there I was, and I was actually in South Africa at the time, and I had to just go to the CDR studio and do some special effects and grunts, and it was quite fun because it's kind of like a bit of a comedy relief part of this scene, because the scene is quite serious over here. So just go as far as you want. So we just Luke was in a different recording studio somewhere else, but I just like went for it and gave them like from like the tamest take to the most wild take, and they definitely nudged it up towards more wild, and it was like you could tell that something mental's going on next door, and there's at least Galad and Gowan, and there's some female voices, and who knows how many people are in there. So I guess my official answer would be, I bet it's a combination of quite a few different people.
One last question before they kick me off, and it's very serious, so feel free to take a moment and just kind of breathe, okay? What is your favorite dinosaur?
I like the velociraptors.
Yeah.
I only know like 4, so but they're like, a T-Rex is a classic answer, but I feel like they're just too big, and they're minding their own business way up there. The velociraptors are like, well, if they're anything like in Jurassic Park, they're like, 10 foot tall. They're big enough to see. They're small enough to see you, but they're big enough to mess you up. Yeah, exactly. So, and they're fast, and they're super creepy. So, they were always the ones I was scared of watching Jurassic Park, but they're very cool. I'd like to be one of those guys.
Too smart for me. Yeah.
What's yours? Before you go, what's yours?
The Dilophosaurus with the duck-billed dinosaur. Yeah. That's my favorite.
I was expecting maybe something with the unicorn point,
Yeah,
but
there isn't really a unicorn dinosaur, or that would absolutely be my favorite. But
Yeah.
I'll make do with the other animal looking one.
Well, very quickly before we go, did you know that the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn?
I did. Yes. I have a friend that sends me anything that they see in Scotland with the unicorn on it, which just makes me so happy anytime I talk to anyone that's Scottish.
Oh my God, amazing. I have a painting in my house that is a Scottish unicorn. I'm not in my house just now, otherwise I'd show you, but yeah, it's cool.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. And everyone, we love your portrayal of Galad. It's just like everything that Rafe works with, it makes us hate to love the character so much that we've, grown in the books, and we're like, okay, I'm going to hate this. And it's just like, darn it, you're so good.
that means a lot. That means a lot. So thanks for saying that. That's all we, if everything past it being a job, like everyone else's job, you got to go and you got to work and you got to feed your family. We're so lucky that this can go well by other people.
Yeah.
And that is really, the best part about doing it is that other people can enjoy what we all collectively made. So I'm glad it's passing the test.
Yes. Thank you for your passion. We appreciate it so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm so thankful that we get to talk to so many of these incredibly passionate actors, and the directors and the cast and crew. Everyone that we have talked to just clearly cares so much about the Wheel of Time and the community itself. And this is no exception. I just adore being able to speak to them and ask questions that I know you in the audience have asked. And I can't wait to do some more. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment down below, share your love out to Callum Kerr, making sure that they know, that the actors know how much we appreciate them. Share this with anyone that you think would enjoy it. And most of all, stay safe and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember to subscribe, like this video, and hit the thumbs up. Also, please leave us a comment. We love positive comments. Also, do you have any friends that are interested in the Wheel of Time? I mean, you probably do. Let them know about us. We would love to share information with more people. More Wheel of Time, the more better. Also, we would love to thank our amazing Patreon community and our sponsor, Tor Books. Thank you so much for the support. We couldn't do any of this without you. Also, follow us on Dragonmount. And as always, my name is Kitty. This is the Wheel of Time Community Show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.